Ever been blindsided by someone you actually liked, someone you thought would never cross the line? Now imagine this. You're surrounded by family, Christmas lights twinkling, carols playing, and out of nowhere, your father-in-law punches you. Right in the crotch, in front of everyone. And everyone laughs? But I didn't, because I already knew. The universe was about to hand me the perfect way to get even. If you've ever believed in poetic justice, the kind that doesn't need fists, just brains, hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you've ever dreamed of harmless but hilarious revenge. And tell me in the comments where you're listening from. I love seeing how far these stories travel, because trust me, this story, it's proof that sometimes karma wears a gamer headset. So let's rewind a bit. Christmas 2022. My wife and I were spending the holidays at our parents' place in Denver. Snow outside, a house that smelled like cinnamon, pine, and slightly burnt cookies. Basically, a postcard of chaos and comfort. Now let me start by saying this. I love my father-in-law. His name's Martin Keene, 58, the kind of guy who'd fix your sink 1 minute and trash talk you in Mario Kart the next. He's like the older, nerdier version of me, gray beard, glasses, and a sense of humor that sometimes borderlines war crime. We share the same obsessions: video games, fantasy movies, tech gadgets, you name it. He was the one who even introduced me to my first gaming console when I started dating his daughter, Hannah. So yeah, he's not your typical grumpy in-law. We're actually friends, but friendship doesn't protect you from holiday stupidity. That night, the whole Keene family had gathered, a small army of siblings, cousins, and loud uncles. Everyone was drinking, joking, and slowly transforming into merry chaos, except me. I was the designated driver, the sober one surrounded by twinkling madness. We were in the living room, playing Exploding Kittens, this goofy card game where the only real rule is, don't lose. Hannah and I had our little playful banter going, light teasing, competitive flirting, the kind that makes the room laugh. I joked about her losing streak. She threw a pillow at me. It was wholesome chaos. Then, out of nowhere, Martin, holding a whiskey glass that looked more like a bowl, stumbled over, grinning like a kid who just saw Santa. He leans toward me and slurs, "You want to know how to handle that attitude?" Before I could even answer, wham, a full-on open-handed punch to the crotch. Not enough to drop me, but definitely enough to make me see the universe. Instant pain, instant silence. Then the room exploded in laughter. Hannah gasped, then started laughing too, probably more from shock than amusement. Even Martin was doubled over, tears in his eyes, wheezing out. "Oh no, I didn't mean to. Come on, hit me back. Fair's fair." And I just stood there, frozen in disbelief, my entire bloodline reconsidering existence. I forced a laugh, tried to wave it off. "All good, Martin. I'll save it for later." Everyone laughed again, thinking I was joking. But in my head, I wasn't, because later was coming. That night, lying in bed next to Hannah, who kept apologizing between fits of giggles, I couldn't even be mad. It was so absurd, so stupidly on brand for Martin that I just stared at the ceiling and thought, what kind of man punches his sober son-in-law in the jewels on Christmas? But another thought followed right after. What kind of man gets even without ever throwing a punch? And that was the seed. It didn't sprout until weeks later, but when it did, it was glorious. About a month later, the new year rolled in, and so did something Martin and I had both been counting down to. Pokémon Odyssey, Crystal Skies, the newest open-world Pokémon game. Now Martin and I are obsessed with the series. He's been playing since the 90s. He's the kind of guy who can name every evolution chain by heart, even the weird ones that look like possessed ice cream cones. We both pre-ordered the game. Launch day came, and I devoured it like a starving man at a buffet. Meanwhile, Martin, with his job, his DIY projects, and his nightly beers, took it slow. He'd call me after work, saying things like, "No spoilers, but wait till you get to the Storm Temple." I'd pretend to still be behind him, even though I'd already finished the story twice. But where I really spent my hours was shiny hunting. If you don't know, a shiny Pokémon is a super rare, color variant version of a normal one. Some players spend hundreds of hours trying to find one. I had a whole system: incense boosts, rare spawn zones, patience, and way too much coffee. One night, I finally caught it, my crown jewel, a ghost dragon hybrid named Phantomen. It shimmered in dark purple flames, its eyes glowing like embers. I actually fist-pumped in the dark like I just won the lottery. For days, that Phantomon was my pride. Then something weird happened. During an online battle, I used its signature move, Shadow Step. The screen froze. Not just lag, total system crash. Black screen, error code, save file corrupted. At first, I thought it was just my console. So I rebooted. Tried again, same thing. Every single time I used Shadow Step with my shiny Phantomon, the game broke like it owed me money. That's when curiosity took over. I tested it with a normal Phantomon, worked fine. Only the shiny version caused chaos. And right there in my dimly lit apartment, staring at the flickering screen, I realized the universe had just handed me divine retribution wrapped in pixels. I laughed. Out loud. Alone. Because fate had given me the perfect digital trap. And my father-in-law? He was the perfect victim. Now you don't just pull the trigger on revenge immediately. You wait. You make it casual. Seamless. Invisible. So I did. A couple of weeks later, we were all hanging out at my sister-in-law's house for a casual family game night. Everyone had brought their consoles. We were trading Pokémon, doing friendly battles, showing off rare catches. Martin, of course, showed up with his custom controller, bragging about finally catching his first shiny, a plain one. Nothing legendary. He was in his element, talking about strategy builds and type counters like we were in a press conference. That's when I played my part. Acting casual, harmless, friendly. Hey guys, I said, I've been catching duplicates lately. Got a few extra shinies. Want one? The room went silent. Every head turned toward me. Getting offered a shiny is like being handed a golden ticket. Martin's face lit up like a kid on Christmas morning. You serious? You're just giving them away? I shrugged. Yeah, man, you've earned it. I scrolled through my list, making a show of it. Then I stopped on the one. The Cursed Phantomon. Here, I said. You'll like this one. It fits your playstyle, pure chaos. He laughed, clapped my shoulder, and said, You're too good to me, kid. Oh, if only he knew. And that's where I'll pause, because what happened next turned one simple prank into a legend in our family. Martin's laughter still echoed in the living room as we made the trade. His console chimed, trade complete. He stared at the shiny Phantomon on his screen like he'd just adopted a mythical pet. Oh man, look at that thing. Purple flames? That's sick. Told you, I said, hiding the smirk tugging at my mouth. It's one of a kind. He named it Fanny. Fanny, the same creature that was about to haunt his console for weeks. We spent the next couple of hours battling, chatting, laughing. The kids were running around. Hannah and her sister were arguing over some holiday recipe, and Martin? He was grinning ear to ear, showing off his new toy. Check it out, he said to his son. Shadow Step is insane. I had to bite the inside of my cheek to stop from laughing. That night, I drove home with Hannah, trying so hard not to grin like an idiot. She was scrolling through her phone, oblivious, humming along to some Christmas playlist. You're quiet, she said finally. Just tired, I replied, gripping the steering wheel. Or plotting something, maybe both. I didn't sleep much that night, half from excitement, half from guilt. Because, to be honest, I did feel a twinge of hesitation. He was a good guy. A dumb drunk one sometimes, but good. Still, you don't punch your sober son-in-law in the family room and just walk away clean. 3 days later, I got a text. Martin. Hey genius, any idea why my game froze mid-battle? My heart skipped. It was happening. I played dumb. Me. Weird. What were you doing? Martin. Not sure. It just happens sometimes, mid-attack, online battle, random stuff. I swear this console's dying. I sent a shrug emoji, and that was that for now. Over the next couple of weeks, more texts rolled in. Martin. Game froze again. I can't figure out what triggers it. Martin. Lost progress again. It's like this thing's haunted. Martin. I'm about to throw this console through the window. Each one made me chuckle like a villain in a Saturday morning cartoon. But then something unexpected happened. He called me. I answered, trying to keep my voice neutral. Hey Martin, what's up? Dude, my game keeps crashing. Crashing? Yeah, totally random. Mid-battle, sometimes during a special move. I've reinstalled, swapped the SD card, the whole thing. No clue what's triggering it. That's rough, I said, shrugging. He sighed. I don't know what to do, it's driving me nuts. Fair enough, I said, keeping my tone casual. Weeks passed. Every family dinner, Martin would bring it up casually. You know, my game keeps crashing, still freezing, I'd ask. Like a cheap laptop in Antarctica, he said. The entire family found it hilarious. Hannah would roll her eyes and say, Dad, maybe it's the universe telling you to stop playing so much. But Martin wasn't one to give up. He'd stay up late, tinkering, testing theories, even posting on online forums. He was convinced he'd find the fix, and I just kept quiet. Every time we talked, every time he complained, every time he groaned about having to redo a quest, it was like Christmas all over again. Still, I had my doubts. Was I being petty? Yeah. Was it satisfying? Absolutely. But I kept thinking about how to reveal it, how to drop the punchline. It had to be perfect. Timing, setting, everything. And of course, karma provided again. Fast forward to a Sunday dinner in late March. We were all at the Keen house again. Roast chicken, red wine, the usual loud, loving chaos. Martin was mid-story about work when he suddenly sighed. I swear my console's been driving me insane, he muttered. Still freezing? I asked, playing dumb. Every time I battle online. I've reset the system, changed settings, even replaced the SD card. Nothing. It's like it's cursed. I leaned forward, keeping my tone casual. Weird question, but does it happen when you use Shadow Step with that shiny Phantomin I gave you? He froze, fork halfway to his mouth, eyes narrowing like he'd just heard a ghost whisper. How did you? I couldn't hold it in anymore. I grinned. That's for punching me in the jewels last Christmas. For 2 full seconds, the room went silent. Then Martin burst out laughing, the kind of laugh that shakes the table. Red-faced, wheezing, wiping tears from his eyes. Oh, you did not. Oh, I absolutely did. He kept laughing, pointing at me. That's brilliant. That's evil. You son of a... Language, Dad, Hannah interrupted, smirking. Even my mother-in-law, who'd missed the original incident, was chuckling. What on earth are you two talking about? Long story, honey, Martin said between laughs. But let's just say... He hit me back digitally. A few days later, Martin sent me a screenshot from a gaming news article. It said, Developers confirm bug. Shiny Phantomin causes system crashes. He'd added one line beneath it. Guess I deserved that one. Well played. And that's when I knew revenge complete, clean, harmless, perfectly poetic. Since then, the story has become family legend. Every Christmas someone brings it up. Usually my brother-in-law raising a glass and saying, To the great crotch punch of 2022 and the glitch revenge of 2023, Martin laughs the loudest. He even retells it like it's his proudest moment. My son-in-law once got me good, he'll say. Didn't need fists, just a bugged Pokémon and perfect timing. And honestly, I respect that, because what started as pain turned into laughter. What began with humiliation ended in mutual respect. Looking back, I realized something. Revenge doesn't always have to be cruel. Sometimes the best payback isn't about making someone suffer, it's about making them remember. It's a wink from the universe that says, hey, maybe don't mess with people who know how to code. And the best part? Martin still has that Phantomin. He calls it his lucky curse. Says it reminds him to think before acting and to always double save. Every time I see that mischievous sparkle in his eyes, I know we're even. And maybe, just maybe, that's what family is. Driving each other crazy, laughing about it later, and keeping score in the most ridiculous ways. If you've ever had someone cross the line and fate handed you the perfect way to strike back, drop your story in the comments below. Maybe yours will be the next one I tell here. Hit that like button if you believe in creative justice. Subscribe for more stories of karma served cold. And remember, sometimes laughter really is the sweetest revenge.